I think a lot of us, if not most of us in this meeting hall, share a common bond with Mr. Bill Brammer. That common bond meaning that we all love the martial arts. And a lot of us here are giving our life to it, as Mr. Tony and Mr. Brammer have done. I first met Bill Brammer in the early 60s, 50-something years ago. And at that time, martial arts was quite a bit different than it is now. First of all, there wasn't any. The highest ranked martial artist you could find was a brown belt. There wasn't any black belts in a six-state area around here. And so being the same with Mr. Brammer. Mr. Brammer was training in a club downtown Fort Worth, and his teacher got an opportunity to go to Los Angeles and work out in the Ed Park Hippo system. So that left Mr. Brammer without a home. So he and I talked and decided that we'd just throw him together. He'd bring his people over and be a part of my organization, which that's been the case from then to current times now. And one of the things that we did is, at the time I had the Texas State Karate Championship going on, and it was a fledgling tournament. And bringing Billy on board as my partner on it, as the tournament director, we developed that to one of the top 10 tournaments in the United States. And the way we did that was through a whole lot of hard work. Mr. Brammer's hard work, and I got the glory.
I heard amen.
We made it through the blood and guts area together, his students and my students. And there was a few times I called on him where he stood tall. I got a call one time from a good friend of mine in Dallas named Ed Daniels, said, let's get together and fight out and lock the doors. And if you don't remember those days or heard about those days, we call that research and development, R&D. When I get those calls from Ed, well, I wanted to make a good showing and have more people than he has when I showed up, so I made the call to Mr. Brammer, and he and his guys always showed up. They showed up when we had the first professional kickbox team match, Texas Gladiators. They were always there anytime they were called on. Actually, we shared more than martial arts. We shared a lifestyle together, because most people in that time were teaching karate part-time and working in another job during the day. That being the case with Mr. Brammer. Mr. Brammer was a union professional masonry and mason contractor. And there isn't anything he couldn't build. I'm convinced he probably, if it had masonry on it, he could have built the Empire State Building. So he was my resident professional. And I owned a construction company at the same time, but his bricklaying and my bricklaying was a few miles apart. He could go out and put 400 perfect bricks in a wall, and I'd have to go out and chuck 4,000 of them in and just make the same amount of money. But anytime I'd get in trouble, I'd call on him. I remember I had a contract with building a high school in Oklahoma, and I got up there and got in all kinds of trouble. I couldn't even read a blueprint. Couldn't even run a transit, but I could lay brick. And so the minute I get in trouble, I'd call him up, make a trip back down there and meet him, and he would show me how to solve the problem. So we had a working relationship that's unparalleled. I read in martial art books, which I'm sure all of you are avid readers of it also, and one of the things about martial arts that's an attribute that we all strive for is humility. And that's hard to do with martial arts because martial arts have giant egos. Don't you? Mr. Brammer was always there to do the work. And he always stepped out of the background as a very humble person. He was then, the last 50 years, and he is right now for everyone that knows him. And sir, for all the times I didn't say thank you, I'm going to take this opportunity right now to say thank you very much for your friendship.
Don't know Jekyll and Hyde. When I get one of these in my hand, I don't have a whole lot of problem. So many familiar faces and stuff tonight. A lot of y'all come up to me and they go, I don't know who that is, but I bet Billy Smith knows who that is. It's a known fact that I've got a pornographic memory. I don't forget anything. What? Oh, sorry. Why I said it's photographic memory. But anyway, I had to force myself to get a good memory. Like most of us, we see a lot of faces and stuff. So Mr. Brammer taught me something a long time ago. If you force yourself at the end of the class to call each student up and bow and shake their hand and call them by name, you might miss it once or twice, but you'll keep from getting embarrassed, you'll remember. So that's always helped me. I started martial arts. Me and Lee Delaney, we worked at the steel mill together, just got out of high school. And he comes into work one morning and said, I went to a karate demonstration. I said, you did? Why didn't you tell me I went? He said, well, there's another one tonight. So I went. And I was a pretty good athlete in school, but I was tall and skinny, you know, but I had a heart. I tried real hard, so the coaches kept me around, you know. I got a lot of athletic letters on my jacket for the longest time on the bench and best cheerleader we had. But I was there for the team. So I went to the demo, and Grandmaster Burleson was doing a demonstration at a little old school on Magnolia in Fort Worth, across from 2 or 3 bars, so it was a good training place. And I watched the whole demo, and I was so excited, but I was afraid, and because I didn't know what to expect. So, all through school, I was shy and polite and bashful and stuff, you know. And then, of course, I'm not a service brat, but I had 4 stepdads, so I moved a lot. So I was a new kid on the block everywhere I went. And after a while, you just find the biggest kid in the neighborhood and say, "Hey, let's get it over with." And they'd look at you, "What?" You know it was coming, so we kind of got that out of the way. So I was fighting quite a bit before I got into martial arts. But anyway, I was putting the keys. I had an old 51 Chevy, and I was putting the keys in it, and I thought, I want to do this. So I took the keys out and ran in there. Before I could change my mind, I ran up to Great Grandmaster Burleson, stuck my hand out, and I said, "I want to join." He said, "Good, just sign up over here." So I got started that way. The school didn't last there very long. I think the bar started complaining about us going over there. I think part of our white belt test was to be able to walk from the front door to the back without getting a scratch. So promotions were pretty fast, but they moved the school to Hurst, and that's when I saw Mr. Brammer for the first time. And I think Larry Ritchie and Grandmaster Brammer were teaching, splitting the school up. And then got married a little bit after that. Missed a couple of months, and then I found that my wife's ex-boyfriend had gotten his orange belt. So I wasn't going to let that get away. So I talked him into coming by and getting me. He said, "Yeah, I'm training down at the YMCA under Billy Brammer." And I said, "I know him." So I went down there in about 71 and been with Grandmaster Brammer ever since. You know, of all the dads and stuff, and And y'all can relate to this to your instructors. You know, my philosophy or my respect to black belts were, there was God, black belt, family, wife, you know, in that order. So I had a great deal of respect for him, but when he told me that Mr. Brammer was there, so I went in there and started with him. Well, he did things for me that the other 5 dads never got the opportunity to do, but he was there for me. He watched my kids grow. He played with my children. He taught me life lessons. He would co-sign, help me with a car when I was struggling from job to job. And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but when I started in martial arts, I changed jobs, one every year, different company, different trade. It didn't matter because the weekend would come up and they said, well, we got a job to do this weekend. I said, no, man, I'm going to Austin, or I'm going to Oklahoma, or I'm going, when we had like a 6-tournament circuit. And they said, well, if you don't come to work, you know, you're fired. I said, well, this job was here when I was looking for it. And I don't know, it just felt like the Lord kept pushing me. He said, Billy, this is what I want you to do. Well, 16 surgeries later, chewing gum wrappers and staples and screws, I'm still together. My wife says I'm the bionic man. She don't say 6 million, it's $6 man. But we stay together, and Mr. Brammer has been there at my side through all of it, the hospital visits, whatever, you know, so he's been closer to me that way, or as a father figure than some of them could be. So I learned lessons that way. A lot of y'all had students that may have been stepchildren or something, and I'd always pull them to the side and say, look, you've got to treat your stepchild as if he's your own blood, even though he says, just tell him you love him. You know, all those stepdads, never one of them ever saying that. It gets to you. It gets to you and stuff. So what we try to say here, and a lot of y'all are saying it in different ways, you know, we try to educate the parents and the students about martial arts. It's not just karate. It's not just physical fighting and other things. It's martial arts. It's a way of life. So when we give them those goal settings and those belts, they can look at a situation of a job or school or a lesson, and it even looks complicated, but they know it's got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they can conquer that. And that's what this man has done for me my whole life. There's nothing that challenged me more than trying to attempt to figure it out or take care of it. And he lets me know, hey, whatever you put your mind to, you can do. Each and every one of you probably has a story about Mr. Brammer. Mr. Tony, I've been watching him for years. It's kind of neat to see some of the people in, you know, I probably got some old pictures of me, and y'all, some of you guys might recognize me. I was tall and skinny. That's a few pounds ago. But there's one special guy here tonight, and I really want him to just say something. I know this is not called for in here, but Jimmy Hart, are you here? Mr. Hart, would you come here for a minute? Mr. Brammer had a school in Arlington that I helped him get started. And once I saw that it was going to be able to take care of Mr. Brammer, then I said, Mr. Brammer, you take the school. I'm going to go back to work, construction or whatever. And I left it with him. And this is one gentleman came out of the Arlington school. How many of y'all Arlington guys are here? There's quite a few of y'all. Man, we love you. We've had schools everywhere, but we never gave up. We never gave up. Now, Mr. Hart, I want you to come up, just say a few words. Mr. Cashin, I apologize. I know this is not on the deal, but if any of y'all want to get into acting and stage and stuff, Mr. Hart's got connections. Okay, hang on a second. Jimmy Hart.
Thank you for allowing me to have this impromptu speech this evening. I want to do so because Ms. Brammer, you have served as one of the great figures of my life, and you have made a profound influence on me. And Mr. Burleson, I very much respect what you said about humility in the arts, so forgive me for talking about myself for a second, but I want to speak to the potential of the martial arts and how it can impact people's lives. And I see some young people here tonight, some young black belts at our table, and I can tell you it served as one of the greatest single parts of my life because it taught me discipline. It taught me the ability to overcome tremendous obstacles. It taught me to absorb pain. I know some of you know what I mean by that. And it taught me to keep going. And in my own life, I studied at Southern Methodist University, went to Yale School of Drama, and worked professionally as an artist. And now I'm teaching at SMU on the Arts Entrepreneurship Program where I'm the director. And I attribute a terrific deal of success that I've had in my life to the foundation that you have instilled. As I was a young boy, I started at the age of 10 at Arlington Karate Academy and received my black belt under Mr. Brammer and other respected gentlemen here this evening, Mr. Drelko, Mr. Smith. Sorry, Mr. Anderson couldn't be here, Mr. Brammer, of course. I just want to say thank you. You have served as a major influencing figure in my life. I consider you one of the pillars of my life, and I just want to say thank you, sir.
We're going to have great Grandmaster Brammer come up and accept the award from Grandmaster Burleson. And everybody will get the tune started. Isn't that wonderful? Y'all got something that we can tell? Kids, you got to leave. I got one I got to tell the parents. No, I'm teasing for you. Grandmaster Burleson.
It gives me great pleasure, Mr. Brammer, and I realize everything is formal and Mr. Bill, but I've been calling you Billy for 50 years, and that's who you already made it. So this award for me as a presenter is Billy Brammer. Thank you for many years of dedication and commitment to empower martial art community with love, compassion, and wisdom. May our Lord Jesus bless and live you always. We love you, your martial arts family. January 19th, year 2013, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm talking, I'm not much speaking to get closer. Okay. Breathe on. These guys here, you know, we've known each other for years, you know, and it's just amazing, you know, to see everybody in this group here get along. Alan Steen, you know, I just saw him hit him in the nose. Not, he'd kill me after it. He and Mr. Burleson, Grandmaster Burleson, have been in the karate like this since started here in this area, and those are the two guys that did karate in this area and made it. And I've seen this guy. I saw him fight Mike Stone when he had his damn arm in the swing, and he liked to beat him. And you know who he is. That was, it was a tough fight for him. But I've watched these guys and everybody and admire them, and I never put myself up with them. I always admired them up here, and I always will. That's the way it is. But the people that I know, they like me, I think. You know, and it is the best feeling in the world to have a lot of people like you. And it's really good. So, I know I'm rambling on here, but when I started in karate, I started in a self-defense course. I just been working downtown, and they had a self-defense course down there on Main Street, right there, pretty close to the courthouse. And I went in and took a self-defense course there. And while I was there on this self-defense course, Mr. Pat Burson brought over his group of boys to spar on the self-defense course. Of course, we didn't know how to spar, but we knew how to front snap kick. We'd been taking the self-defense, and that's all we knew, front snap kick and punch. And they all came over and lined up, and what they did was line everybody up, and they all picked who they wanted to fight. Well, I was over the bowling guy, and I was slim like I am now, and everybody was fighting me, you know. But I saw Steve Stavroff there with the blue belt, and he came in, and I saw him over there doing the conduit, and I said right then, that's what I'm going to be right there. Steve Stavroff is still my hero. He still is. But anyway, we've had a lot of fun. After Pat and Mr. Burleson and I got together on the tournament, we had so much fun doing Texas Stadium. We had the best tournament, maybe excluding Mr. Stain's tournament here in the country, I thought. And we had more fun doing that tournament and made a lot of friends doing it. I really enjoyed your company get together with you and planning that thing. We'd get together 6 months ahead of time. And mine, he did the PR work, and I did the footwork. And so we had a good relationship, and if I had a problem I couldn't if I couldn't solve a problem, I'd go get him and let him solve it. So I've got students here and the wives that I just love, you know, and I can just see their faces, and I don't see nothing but they like me, you know.
Love you, sir.
That's that's the best feeling in the world. I love all of you guys too. I don't know. I hope all of you have a good time the rest of your life and do good. And Mr. Tony, I'm sorry he's doing bad. You know, I'm sorry for him. I've known James Tony for a long time. And I don't know of anybody here, but here I've got all kinds of good friends. And I don't know anything to say but thank you for this deal right here.
Well, I appreciate that applause. And, And my name is George Minshew, and I had the unique and I think rare opportunity to come from Houston. That's my home. That's where I have taught karate all my life. But I had the rare opportunity to have a foot in both camps. Alan Steen and Pat Burleson accepted me in as a brother, and I was able to train with both and experience their students. And the things that we spoke about tonight, humility and dignity, I think those are the words that
I would attribute to James Toney and Bill Brammer. Humility and dignity, they both exude those qualities. And with James Toney, one of the things that I admire really has not much to do with the martial arts. It has to do with his being a family man. I've never seen you guys apart. I'm sure it happens, but I've always seen the two Tonys. And I think that's a wonderful thing, because it's a difficult thing to do in the martial arts, I have to say. And most of us have been married more than once, and I admire that part. Now, go ahead, it's time to do that. And for Billy Brammer is a person that I could never, ever forget. Because those of you who know me know that I'm deaf in one ear. What? And Billy Brammer helped me become deaf in one ear. We fought each other in a tournament in Lubbock or Abilene or somewhere up in North Texas. And he hit me right in the ear with a spinning back fist. And what'd you say? And that's been my opening line forever. What? Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. Now, what I would like to do is to give others of you the opportunity that those of us who've spoken tonight have had, and that's an opportunity to say a few words about these guys. And so, I don't know if you've noticed that the microphone, we always have to lay it down before someone else can pick it up, because if two people touch the microphone, it doesn't work. Don't touch it.